Well, over the years, the Whitetail Diaries Deer Camp has hosted many Cabela's representatives, from first-timers to seasoned hunters. Well, this year's no different. We have Dan Gurr from the archery division of Cabela's here with us as he goes after his first Texas whitetail.
First time ever doing a big game hunt out of the state that I live in. Yeah, coming out, it was about 2 months ago. I got the invitation to come out, and I probably haven't slept for about 2 months. You know, it was nerve-wracking, just coming in, thinking about what you would see, what you might not see, and you know, just going through with all the different deer that hopes and dreams come true. So I've never really been to Texas, out in the country, anywhere out here, and it was amazing. I mean, it was eye-opening. It's something I've never seen before. It was absolutely amazing. I couldn't ask for anything more. You know, I could have sat there for hours. That's hunting all day long. I mean, it's not killing, it's hunting. You know, acorns were falling. They were out there. Whitetail could have been 100 yards away, and we would have had no idea. I mean, the spot we were in, you had maybe 60 yards of view. What you could see, it was pretty brushy. And I mean, you would have no idea. If they were 80 yards out, you just wouldn't know. But they could have been quite content just hanging out and doing what they do right out there with no idea.
So after a slow morning hunt, Dan refuels back at camp, and Wade has a place in mind that'll put Dan's archery skills to the test.
Get ready for the evening hunt, and we're talking about going, you know, we're going out the killing tree. You know, we've heard stories about the killing tree, and it sounds like a killer place.
We have Dan Gurr from Cabela's set up in the ever-famous killing tree.
You know, you ask, well, why is it called the killing tree? And it's, well, you'll just see when we get there. So we get in there, and no later than, you know, within 4 minutes after we get set up in the stand, there's a doe coming in. I couldn't see anything because of the brush in the way, and I look in the pond, and I see the reflection of the deer. So, right there, you know, 4 minutes sitting in the stand, there's deer there. Before you know it, within 30 minutes, I mean, there's deer everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I mean, they're coming in from the right, they're coming in from the left. It was amazing. I've never been in a spot and seen that many deer come in like that and just move around. You know, you look over, and way back in, you see about 200, 220 yards out, you just see big buck coming through, working his way down, and man, it was amazing seeing it. You see a bruiser just slow walking, just taking his time, and you just see that rat coming through, and it was cool. It was amazing. Just a bruiser. I mean, you can tell, just big body. But even see, I mean, we're looking at everything, and there's so much going on, and all of a sudden, you know, Jeff hollers over and look at the water hole. And I couldn't even, with the shadowing and the tree branches the way it is, there's a deer on the far side of that pond, and he's in there drinking. I couldn't see his antlers, I couldn't see anything with the shadowing, I just seen the body. And it was big. It was a big buck. He was a monster. And come through, and there was a lot of other, I mean, there was good shooters right in that pond, right there in the watering hole. and we're hoping he's gonna walk through and come right to where you need him to go. And he works his way around and just out of sight. I mean, just in the trees, just in the brush. He wouldn't come quite to where we could get a shot or where we could see him. And then he seen a doe. He seen something he liked out in the field. And man, he just boogied. He boogied across the field.
Well, with a big buck choosing a doe over Dan, Dan sets his sights on the other shooters that are still hanging around the killing tree.
You know, he's milling out, so I instantly start looking, and there's two great bucks. There's 11 point, there's a 9 point, and they're just hanging out right about 30 yards, just watering and going in there. And you know, for me, you know, I'm not gonna wait and chance and see if the big one comes in and regret that for years to come. You know, I'm gonna go in, and those bucks were they were too good to pass up. And they kept stacking up. One time I came to a partial draw, and as soon as I did, they just stacked up. And you know, you're not gonna take the shot. You're not gonna take the shot when there's deer stacked within deer and chance wounding another deer. Oh my God. Oh, I gotta sit for a second. That was insane. About that, I'm looking at everyone just thinking, man, that's a shooter, that's a shooter, that's a shooter. You know, I would take about any one of them deer, and it's just waiting for the right deer. You know, it's waiting for the mature deer to come through that, you know, needs to be got. Man, just seeing him out there with that, you know, that mass, those tines, ooh, it got my heart racing. It was amazing. As soon as he stepped into that spot where I knew he was a good, just partially quartering away and just standing there ready for me, it was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to go ahead and take him. That's the biggest buck I've shot in my life. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna pass that up in the New York second.
With a solid shot on his personal best, Dan heads back to camp to give the deer some time and regroup with Wade.
We came back into camp, got Wade, got the video, got it up on the big screen, and sure enough, shot looked perfect. I mean, it looked absolutely great. And determined, I mean, as soon as we saw it, you know, it's not going more than 100 yards. It had some great food, good eats while we're watching that. And you know, I was getting pretty pumped up. I mean, you're eating great food, you're watching the perfect shot, and nothing could be better. I mean, it was absolutely awesome.
We've hosted Dan Gurr from Cabela's archery division here at camp. He put the new Cabela's Insurgent bow to the test and made a solid shot on a great Texas whitetail. The Whitetail Diaries crew is assembled and joins Dan in tracking and hopefully recovering the biggest buck Dan has ever shot.
Dan, you lead the way. We'll be right behind you. We're getting to looking and doing our thing. Right there. He's bleeding all over right there. Oh, he's bleeding a bunch. Turn, just like all of them.
Yep, right there. Big pile.
They all go that way every time. Bigger spots. Oh yeah. There. Bush there. There's the arrow. Right here. Yep. What you like to see.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of blood on there.
Bunch right there. Bunch here. Bunch here.
It's right there.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh.
Nice.
He didn't make it too far.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's a perfect shot when you look at play that one back.
Oh, jeez.
He just looks awesome. Look at that. Wow. Great shot.
What a cool buck.
That is cool. Has he still got velvet, a little bit dried velvet on
Yeah,
him?
he does.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yep.
Wow. He didn't go anywhere, buddy.
No, he didn't.
You made a perfect shot. The reaction was priceless. That's the reason why we do this.
Oh,
That never gets old.
what a great deer. What a great deer.
He still has a lot of velvet up there on the back end.
Yeah.
He just came out. Congrats, sir.
Thank you.
It was amazing. I mean, it was absolutely amazing coming up and seeing that buck, seeing that it, knowing that it didn't suffer. It didn't live long. It was a good shot. It was a good placement, and going up and finding that just right there, it was amazing. It was super cool.
That's the most exciting part of what we do to me is you get to watch somebody that comes into Texas or hunts some place for the first time, and you get to see the excitement, you see the emotion, you see the shake, you see the after effects, and then you get to track it and find their deer. I mean, to me, that's just like all of us were successful on the hunt. I mean, that to me makes the whole day, the whole year kick off the right way.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's such a neat experience to come out here, seeing the mounted deer, the situation where it was. I've never experienced that in my life. I mean, it was magical. Bow and arrow I've been hooked on since I was 12 years old. And it's just the difference when you come in and, when you go out and you do muzzleloader, 90% of the time you're within 100 yards. Rifle, you can get out a couple 100 yards, but archery, you're so close to the game. I mean, it's up close, it's personal. Being that close, up and personal with the animals is amazing. It's a different feeling.
Hey, congratulations, Dan, on a successful bow hunt and entry into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Want to see more Whitetail Diaries content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch your favorite moments and behind-the-scenes footage from the show.